Today we are going to be learning how to throw on a pottery wheel. First, let's start with our tools. We have our wire tool, our wooden modeling tool, our sponge, our needle tool, our rubber rib, a bucket of water, and the most important tool, our hands. Now let's start with wedging the clay. You're going to put your right and left hands on the clay and push down and away with your left hand while rotating the clay with your right. You're going to repeat this motion anywhere from 30 to 50 times, depending on how the clay feels. Doing this gets all the air bubbles out of your clay, which prevents it from cracking and exploding once it's in the kiln. Now let's throw on the wheel. We have our splash pan ready and our wheel is working. So now we just get the wheel wet so that the clay can easily adhere to it so that it does not fly off. Now make sure to keep your body tight and your elbows planted firmly into your thighs. Keeping your body tight helps you keep better control of the clay. Now let's center the clay. We're going to start this by coning the clay. We're going to use our hands to bring the clay up into a cone-like shape, and then we will push down on the clay with our left hand and then keep the clay steady and centered with our right. Now once you get to this point, definitely make sure that you're keeping your clay nice and wet, and just keep doing that motion, keeping your arms firmly planted into your legs. Once the clay feels centered, we're going to begin opening the clay. You're going to search the middle of the clay with your pointer finger when your finger does not move at all with the clay. When you find that, push straight down into the clay almost to the bottom, and then you will open the clay by using your right thumb and pulling it out. Now let's make it grow. You're going to have your right thumb on the top of the clay to keep the rim even, your knuckle at the base of the outside of the clay, and then your left hand, your pointer finger, is going to be pushing even with your knuckle, and then you're going to apply even pressure and pull up. You will do this several times depending on the amount of clay and how tall you want your cylinder to be. Then we're going to grab our rubber rib, and this we will use to clean the outside of our piece up. It will get rid of all of the throwing lines left by your fingers and make the outside of your piece smooth. Then we're going to grab our wooden tool and clean up all this excess clay we have on the bottom. You're going to cut that away and then remove it with your needle tool. And then you're going to use your sponge and remove all of the excess water at the bottom of your piece. Now let's grab our wire tool, get it nice and tight, and then skim it along the bottom of your piece. We're going to do this a few times before we then use it to cut our piece in half. This is going to show us if our walls are even and how thick they are. And there you have it. Today we learned how to throw on the pottery wheel. Now it's time to try it yourself. Good luck!